meaningful gifts. We have events throughout the year. We have birthday parties. We have holidays, anniversaries, all kinds of things. And we're getting people gifts. We just had Christmas, and in my family, we do Secret Santa with some of the family members because we have a pretty large family. And, so each person has one person to get a gift for. And it's designed sort of to make it, I think, more meaningful. I think that was really the thought process behind it. Let's make it more meaningful. Ralph Waldo Emerson put it this way. He said, rings and jewels are not gifts. The only true gift is a portion of thyself. And I've loved that line for quite some time now. Rings and jewels are not gifts, but only apologies for gifts. The only true gift is a portion of thyself. And what it means is a real gift is an extension of you. It's giving something of yourself, which might mean you spend a lot of time thinking about that person, trying to figure out what would matter to them. One of the things I do for gifts, and I'd like to do it better than I currently do, but I do it better now than I used to, is I love to read. And part of it is that the books ask you questions. Elie Wiesel put it this way. He said, today we let the book ask us questions. He would read books in his classes, and he'd say, today we let the book ask us questions. Elie Wiesel is the famous author of Night. He was taken to Auschwitz when he was 14, and he survived, but his family didn't. And brilliant perspective. Today we let the book ask us questions. So when I come across a book that I think, wow, this is a great book, it really, really challenges me, it really gets me thinking, it really engages me, it really inspires me, it really, wakes me up, it forces me to think. I mean, one, I take notes, and number two is, I say maybe I should buy a few of those books. Maybe I should buy a few copies and keep them. And when a birthday party, when a holiday, when a Christmas or an anniversary or something like that, or Hanukkah or some event comes up, and I have people in my life to give them a gift, that might not be the only gift, but maybe that's the extra to the gift. And I'll think who would really benefit from this book. So one of those books is this one, Before I Go. It's by Peter Kreeft. Peter Kreeft has written, I think, 70, 80 books, something like that. He's a brilliant professor. And this one, the subtitle is Letters to Our Children About What Really Matters. Before I Go. And all the chapters are tiny. Like chapter 33 is one page, essentially. How to be a good person, step 1, And he says, step 1 is to stop pretending that you are one. He says, step 1 for many people in our society is to stop being so insufferably self-affirming, to stop listening to the self-righteous prigs who give us advice on how to be self-righteous prigs, and to stop, in quotes, accepting yourself as you are. That's what toddlers do. I just love the book, and I love it for many reasons. One, for the wisdom. Two, in the beginning of the book, he says, I didn't really write this for you. I wrote this for my kids and grandkids, because no matter what, at the end of our lives, there will be more to say. There will be more to give. And he said, I wanted them to have something that was just really from me to them. He said, if other people read it, that's fine, but it's really from me to them. Rings and jewels are not gifts, but apologies for gifts. The only true gift, is a portion of thyself. Maybe you do what I'm doing, and I'm trying to get better at, is find a book like this. And maybe this is not the book for you, but find a book that really, it engages you, and you make notes and you highlight it, and then you say, who would really appreciate this? And maybe you tell them, maybe you put a little note in the cover that says, Dear so-and-so, I thought you'd love 33 and 75. Or, number 33, that's the one, how to be a good person. Step 1. 33 is a lesson I needed to hear. How about you? Maybe you put a little note in the book, and I don't know. Maybe the people in your life read it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't read the whole thing. But one of the reasons I picked this book is that each of the chapters is so tiny and you can flip through. One of my favorites is 75. I just gave a copy of this book to a family member, just as an addition. I have a couple more copies to be given to people. And I said 75 is my favorite. 75 says, life is a fish fry. I'll read a tiny bit from it for you. Life is a fish fry. And it starts like this. It says, and all the while God waits patiently with a cosmic sense of humor and carefully fries his small fish, us, turning them over minimally until they are done, not rushing them or breaking them or overspicing them, knowing just how much attention and pain we need to soften us up. God does this to us despite our spittings and squirmings in the pan, and he does it through other people who are the very spatulas by which he turns us around in his frying pan. And we are his spatulas for frying others. How humbling. What are you good for, being a spatula? What does that mean? It means turning others over like a fish in a pan, even when they want to be left alone. What do you mean, turning them over deliberately? No, not usually, just being yourself. Oh, but that's a good thing to be yourself. It doesn't seem so good to the other fish. I don't understand. You mean you think your very being yourself pisses people off? Of course, we are fish, not pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. We don't fit. Our protuberances bump the protuberances of, protuberances. Our protuberances bump the protuberances of the other fish, and that's precious. Precious? You said it pisses people off. How can it be precious? I don't understand. You're not married, are you? And he finishes this little tiny 2-page tiny chapter saying we become gemstones only on the grinding wheel. Rings and jewels are not gifts, but apologies for gifts. Make your gifts a little more meaningful.